which I haven't done in so long, because my phone keeps running out of storage, and I don't know how to get rid of stuff when I know it's mostly like my photos and videos. So I'm just waiting for a time for me to like transfer all of my photos into my MacBook, and then like transfer all of that into like a USB, just because I'm not paying for iCloud. I don't want to pay for iCloud, and yeah. Okay, this is the first one. Am I the asshole for making my dad choose between me or my stepmother? I, 21 female, have identified as a trans woman ever since I turned 15. Both of my parents were incredibly supportive. Since the two of them immigrated from Europe in the 90s, their views are a little more open. My parents divorced when I was very little. I lived most of my childhood going between their houses with a schedule almost every week. My mother married again when I was 17, and he has been great. Obviously, I preferred to spend time with my dad, but my stepdad was just as nice and supportive. Well, years ago, my dad met a woman through his real estate job. Let's call her Martha. Martha and him began a relationship very soon after. I introduced myself as soon as I could, since I only visit him every Christmas because of college. I rooted for my dad and her all the way. They got married in September last year. She has one other son, my new older stepbrother, who I was so happy to meet / have since I had never had siblings growing up. It all came crashing down when just a month ago I made a passing comment on a FaceTime call to my dad about my estrogen. Martha looked shocked. She asked if I had problems with my hormones and if I needed any help. I was so confused. I shook my head, almost laughing out of nervousness. My dad told her I was trans at that moment. I couldn't even process that he never even bothered to tell her when she stood up and my dad hung up on me. I knew she was a religious woman from the few conversations I've had with her when I came to visit. But turns out she's deeply religious. Deeply religious. I haven't heard from her since. My stepbrother texted me some weeks after saying he didn't care if I was trans. Aw, that's so nice. Since he's also an only child, he would protect his only sister. He ended up telling me that Martha had prohibited him from talking to me, and in a way also told my dad to stop supporting my sin. I told my mom what was happening, and I almost saw fire in her eyes. Hey, as she should. She gave my dad an ultimatum to put some respect between me and Martha in a call. In that same call, I told him that if things weren't changing, that he needed to choose between me or her. It's breaking my heart because I never wanted it to come to this. I love both my dad and my stepbrother, and at one point my stepmom too. Overall, after that call, my dad has been calling me non-stop. I've been crying non-stop. My stepbrother told Martha wants to speak to me tomorrow. Oh man. I don't think this person is the asshole. Rather, I feel like her dad should have told her stepmother about this, because it's no one's business but like hers to tell the stepmom. But also, let me read back. I don't know if they've ever had a conversation, like the dad and her, regarding the fact that if like it ever came serious relationship if the dad would ever disclose that, oh yeah, my kid is trans. So I'm just curious at that. But yeah, that's, you are not the asshole, and I'm so sorry you felt you need to, even at the thought of telling your dad to choose between stepmom and you, because a child should never go through that. A child should never go through that, ever. So I'm so sorry you felt that way, and I hope you feel better, or I hope you feel lighter in the upcoming months, years, and your relationship with your dad and stepmom hopefully gets better. And if it doesn't, you have your stepbrother and your mom and your stepdad. So okay, this person said, not the asshole. Your dad, on the other hand, ... On one hand, it's no one's business but yours who you tell that you're trans. In the perfect world, your dad respected that and just referred to you as his daughter, and that was that. On the other hand, he may have suspected his wife would react this way and chose not to tell her out of fear of having to make the choice he now finds himself in. Presuming that your stepmom was aware that her husband had a son and your father never told her that you had transitioned, then he's the asshole. Your dad will need to make a choice, unfortunately. Then someone replied to that, stepbrother is such an incredibly brave and sweet soul. I hope he maintains that quality in spite of his bigoted mother. Even if OP's dad grows a damn spine and rightfully ends things with OP's wicked stepmother, I hope those two will still consider themselves siblings in the future. I'm actually blown away by the stepbrother, because that's so nice of him. Yeah, heartbroken for the OP's relationship with her dad after this. It sucks. It does suck. Let's look for another one. I like to be surprised when I read these, so I don't really scroll past much. But then if it's too sexual, or I don't think it would be mature enough on the internet for me to say, then I'm not going to. So I'll just scroll past it. Let's see. Okay, this caught my eye. Okay. Am I the asshole for thanking my sisters for raising me instead of my parents? They've updated this post since, so I don't know what the post was before, but we'll read it still. I don't know if anyone will see this, but I'm married now. Congrats. The wedding happened last weekend. A small 56 people gathering in my wife's grandparents' backyard. Everything was great. Though, wait, is that THOUGH? I was I thought that was a name of a person first, the THO, I guess they abbreviated it into a smaller word for though. My older sister, also my maid of honor, couldn't come as she went into early labor 2 days prior. She's fine, and my nephew is a gorgeous little baby who's also fine. As second older sister did the speech in her place. As for my parents, I think they swapped souls or something. My dad has now become the sweetest father I've ever known, which is unbelievable. Wait, I'm so confused. Okay, wait. My dad has now become the sweetest father I've ever known, which is unbelievable. Every day he'll send a good reception. My mom, on the other hand, has become this hateful person that I cannot comprehend at all. She picked up little fights leading up to the wedding, snide remarks, "You'll change your mind," or "You should try counseling." Joke's on you, I guess, in brackets. And at last she didn't even attend the wedding. Nothing important, just didn't. What the hell? Who does that? I'm not even mad at that. I'm mad that she didn't even visit my sister at the hospital. My nephew is the first baby among us, and that's just horrible. At one point, I was worried about her mental health, so I sent Dad some resources if she needed help, but that's all I can do. Me and my wife would be moving out of the country shortly to start a new life. Until then, I'm trying to understand. It's hard. I'm so confused with the backstory of this. So, the person who was at this just at their wedding, but then mentioned that in the speech that it was the sisters who raised them. I'm confused, but it seems like the parents have a lot of issues they need to work on. I don't think you're the asshole. Sometimes parents are just not meant to have kids or shouldn't have kids. Hot take. But there's some parents who I've witnessed it with my own eyes. Some parents would just love to have a ton of children, but they neglect them. So are you just trying to procreate just for the sake of humanity, or do you actually love your children? But don't come for me, but that's just what I noticed for some people. Okay. Let's see. Also, guys, Bieberella is happening right now, and I might, should I do a video of me, whisper rambling about that, because I am getting so much FOMO right now. The amount of FOMO I'm getting is insane. The lineup for this year is crazy. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, my emotions are literally so high right now because of it. Bieberella, are you joking me? Me plus you. I'ma tell you what, me plus you. Okay. Whatever. It's not whatever. Because I wished I was an influencer right now. Brands flying me out. We're gonna manifest that. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Actually, I don't want to read this. It seems boring. Let's see. This one's interesting. Oh my god, okay. This was posted 28 minutes ago, so this is fresh. It's fresh. I don't know where to look at, the camera or me. The camera or me. The camera. I always look at me, the screen, rather than the camera. So I actually don't know. But let's see. Am I the asshole for not forcing my daughter to throw away her late mom's picture just because my wife wants her to? My late wife, Renee, died when she was 23. And she had been going through a lot of depression and grief, and eventually came suicidal thoughts. Even though we were married and we had a baby, she still wasn't happy. Or baby girl, baby John Doe, baby Jane Doe, not John Doe, Jane Doe. If you know, you know. Jordan, 13, was only 3 when she passed. Years later, I met my now wife, Gemma. Me and Gemma are married now, and we have 3 kids, 7, 5, and 1. Why would you name your kid in the Reddit post? Are you using like alias names or like? Also, guys, like the gap between my teeth is like it has been bothering me for a bit now. I've never had this gap before, but because when I got my wisdom teeth, it started when I was like in my teenage years, and I didn't get it out until a few years later. My wisdom teeth grew and grew and grew, and then look at it now. I never had this gap before. Do I care? No, not really, but I don't know how to fix it because my teeth, like, I don't need braces. So I'm like, whatever. I honestly love it, the gap, but I wish I did have a gap. It wasn't there before. Anyways, I got distracted so quickly. Now, Jordan has many pictures of her mother, but there's this one picture that Jordan is obsessed with. Jordan and Renee look exactly alike in that very photo. Like, you'll never guess they're not the same person. Jordan loves that photo. It sits on her nightstand and she prays with her mom every night. This is the photo my wife wants me to make her throw away. Gemma has never really been in Jordan's room long enough to notice certain things in her room. Jordan is a very introverted, calm, quiet kid. She likes her privacy and she's a good kid. Gemma went in Jordan's room to help set up her new TV. She noticed the picture on the nightstand. I was in there as well, putting together a new dresser. Gemma asked Jordan, "Where'd you get that picture?" Like, who took that picture of her? She thought it was Jordan. She told her it was her mom, not her. Gemma immediately changed her face like it was stuck up or snotty. I didn't say anything because as long as she didn't say anything out of pocket, then I'm fine. Also, I didn't know if that was Jordan, the picture, or something else that she had on her mind. My 5 and 3-year-old asked, "How is that your mommy, if this is your mommy?" They didn't exactly know that Gemma isn't Jordan's biological mother. Jordan said, "Your mommy isn't my mommy. My mommy passed away a long time ago." They asked how did they have separate mommies. I told them before I met their mom, I was married to Jordan's mom. Gemma needs to settle the fuck down. Okay, anyways. Also, guys, I know you probably get annoyed, but I'm always putting my headphones back in because it never stays, and I know I probably should get new headphones for this, but I don't care. Okay, after dinner, Gemma said, "Maybe we should throw that picture away." I asked what picture, and she said the one on her nightstand. I immediately said no. She said she didn't want the kids to get confused again and start asking questions because at this point in time, Gemma, is Jordan's real mom. Okay. I said, "I will not throw that picture away. That was it." Good for you, Dad. About 2 days later, Jordan comes in my office crying and asks if I'm going to throw all of Renee's pictures away. I said no. She said Gemma said I was going to. According to Jordan, Gemma told her while they were fixing lunch that me and Gemma were planning on throwing the pictures away of her mom because she didn't want the boys to get confused anymore, and that Gemma was technically her real mom because Renee took her life away intentionally, knowing she had a baby. She did in fact take her own life. Wait, is YouTube gonna flag me for that? Also, guys, my eyebrows look so freaking good. This is what Jordan told me. Gemma said Jordan kept asking if it was true that she blah 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 took her own life, and I had no choice but to tell her. Oh my gosh, so Jordan didn't know, and Gemma told her. Are you joking me? Gemma's gotten both her mom and her dad on her side, and they said it's for the benefit of the kids. Gemma takes care of Jordan, not your ex. I have no idea what I'm doing now. I personally don't want to throw the picture away, and my daughter loves it, but this entire thing is causing a huge amount of stress and frustration in our household. Am I the asshole? No, like, just because, I'm sorry, I know that everyone has opinions on this, but taking away a photo of your child's biological mother, knowing that when she grows up, there's a possibility that she may want to look up her biological mom to know, oh, how is she like when she's old enough, and she does get to know the full story of what happened to her mother, then where's the copy? Someone said, not the asshole. Taking away a photo of her deceased mom is cruel. That's part of our identity and grief, not confusion. That's so true. I'm so sorry, Gemma, but like, you need to adult the fuck up, because you guys can sit your kids down and talk about it. Like, obviously, you would have to limit what you would tell them, but to a 13-year-old, where your hormones are everywhere, you're going through puberty and going through identity crisis and going through a lot. When I was 13, I was such a hormonal teenager. My emotions were crazy. I didn't know how to regulate my emotions, my thoughts, and everything, and just to spread it out of the open is not your business, Gemma. I don't think it's your business. That's so inhumane and such an asshole move. I'm sorry. Like, no. I'm sorry. Now, I hope that your daughter, when she's old enough, gets to know what happens from her own pace instead of your wife forcing it upon her. Like, I'm sure that you had a time, like, to tell your daughter when she's older, because she's gonna probably ask and be like, oh, you know. Anyways, okay. Let's see. Maybe let's do one more. Oh my gosh. Wait, I'm so excited to read this because me and my roommate talk about some stuff like people we know, but, or, yeah. Okay. Am I the asshole for getting divorced as soon as my last kid was out of the house? Okay. A lot of family stories in today's video. I should have listened to my dad before I got married, but I was 18 and I knew everything. I was in love, and I was going to be with her no matter what. We got married, we got jobs, we had 2 kids. My wife's family helped us with everything. My family was as supportive as they could, but we sidelined them. We spent all our holidays with my wife's family. Both kids' birthday parties were held at my in-laws, and my parents were invited as a courtesy. We both worked and raised the kids, but as the time went on, there were 2 groups in our home. Her and the kids were one, then there was me. All of my choices were undermined. All of my wishes were dismissed. I could not even have privacy in my own bedroom by locking the door, because it stressed the kids to knock. What? After 20 years, I was done. Last fall, my youngest went away for school. I filed for divorce that week. Damn. We didn't have assets besides our cars. I walked away with nothing to show for it besides two kids that never thought about my side if the family is as important. My ex claims that I blindsided her and she didn't know I was unhappy. I asked her what about her constant arguments for the last 14 years made her think I was happy or satisfied with our marriage. I asked her what she thought it meant that I was constantly suggesting we get counseling, both for ourselves and her, for how she dedicated all her energy on the kids instead of us or herself. I said that when my dog died, I didn't get a new one because I knew that although I would be the one to take care for them and pay all the bills, she would find a way to claim him during a divorce. Damn, that's crazy. So I'm 24, starting over. It took me no time to find a better job. The only thing keeping me in my old one was that I was home every night. Oh my god. Now I'm working in a different city doing night shift and making more money than I ever did before. I have a rescue dog that I got the week I left. I'm walking him more and have met new friends in my neighborhood. Another dog. My ex's family, her and our kids think I'm the asshole for not communicating that I was unhappy and just leaving. I talk to her constantly about everything that was bothering me. The kids being allowed to come into the bedroom without knocking. Her unwillingness to eat when I cooked my cultural food and letting the kids not eat it too. How I had to attend events with my family alone because she didn't want to come or let the kids come. Plus a million other things. I've started dating. She's amazing. Shelly's a teacher. Never been married. 32. We aren't at the meeting family stage yet, but I've met a lot of her friends and I will be attending Easter at her house where she is hosting for anyone who isn't going home. This is another problem. I have moved on so quickly. It's really not. I have been checked out of our marriage for years. She is having a tougher time. She is not in the right place to date, and her priorities are the kids, the adult kids who do not live at home. I've seen a few posts lately that made me want to ask. I know how I feel. I know how she feels. I'm mostly estranged from my family, so I don't count their opinions. And the kids and her family have been clear about me abandoning her after all this time. Am I the asshole for leaving as soon as I could after our youngest left? I feel like there's more to the story. I don't know. This story feels very, I know it's his point of view, but I want to know if this dude was a active parent or like an active dad. Because why does it sound like they don't have a good relationship with their kids? Let me just say though, I'm sorry for the people. Yeah, we're gonna hear you say this, but also my parents are gonna watch this and they're like, why are you talking about marriage on the internet? But I hate it when parents stay together for the sake of their kids. Because have people not heard of generational trauma? Because what you show your kids, they will eventually pass that down to their kids because they think that that's normal, that this is the norm, what it should be. But actually that sets them up for poor relationship behavior and it's actually, they showed them incorrectly of how to be in a relationship and probably will do damage